and welcome back to another episode of In Good Company. My name is Gabby, and here along with me is my friend Rob. Today we're going to be discovering a bunch of local hot spots here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. So why don't you tell them a little bit about what we're going to be doing today?
I'd love to, Gabby. Like she said, downtown Broken Arrow is where we are, and we just got a day packed full of fun. So as you and I both know, my love for coffee, it's a little out of control. So
a little bit.
We're gonna have to hit a coffee shop. We've chosen the Rattlesnake Cafe and the Lioness Coffee Roaster. So they're actually gonna take us through the process of roasting from start to finish, what that looks like, and then of course we'll get to try some. So excited for that. On top of that, we've got some really fun museums we're gonna hit, the Broken Arrow Museum and the Military Museum. So fun stuff.
Well, I know coffee and history are okay. I think I know that you know where my head is at.
I always know where your head's at, Gabby.
All right,
it's
nice.
the food. Yeah?
Yes, of course.
Okay, we've got you covered. We'll be hitting the legendary Rustic Chophouse just behind us, actually. And they've got a menu chocked full of just mouth-watering items that will make you go crazy.
Oh,
so.
I'm so excited.
Yep. So, folks, sit down, relax, because you're
In good company.
Sweet building, am I right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Do you know anything about it?
Of course, it's the Performing Arts Center and Education Service Center. It's iconic right here.
Did you just read the sign?
Well, no, everybody knows the Performing Arts Center and Education Center.
Kristen Chenoweth, ring the bell?
Rings all the bells. She practically runs the place.
All right, so then you know she's like a Tony Award winner, has her master's in opera. Glenda, the Good Witch, Wicked.
Yep, shoot, that was her.
Right?
Can we get some coffee? Let's just. Well, welcome guys. We are right here at Main and Dallas in Broken Arrow downtown, and we have the pleasure of hanging out with Aaron and Rob. Now, Rob is actually the owner here of Rattlesnake Cafe and Lioness Coffee Roastery, and Aaron here is the head of design. And so, welcome. Thanks for being on the show. And tell us a little bit about what's going on behind us and what you guys are starting up here.
So we got our coffee roaster set up right here, Lioness Coffee Roaster. We got Rattlesnake Cafe to kind of showcase everything we're doing though. Got a beautiful coffee program and a great food program for the neighborhood.
Awesome, cool. And yeah, you said for the neighborhood, and that's something that you were talking about earlier is how it's such a kind of just a community feel here at Rattlesnake Cafe.
Well, to me, I mean, the essence of a cafe is just that community hub where people can come together. You know, you got grandpa, the kids, everyone just working there, enjoying themselves, having a good time. So I just think it's a great place to bring people together.
Cool, and man, even just walking in, you immediately feel that. Looking around, you know, all different ages and faces, and anybody and everybody's in there, and it just feels like home. So I love the way that you guys have set that up. Up front is Rattlesnake Cafe, and then in the back, talk a little bit about the roastery back here and what you guys have started up.
Right, so we decided we wanted to start a roasting program ourselves, really highlight, the best coffees that we could source. You know, we're involved in like the third wave specialty coffee, world, so it's just really using the best ingredients, finding farmers that are doing it the right way, and we just try to, showcase the beans for everything they are, and bring out the flavor profiles that kind of spent years in the making. We're really just trying not to mess anything up, so it's just, we've got a roasting profile that I think is probably, my favorite that I've had from, coffee roasters from around the region.
What bean is this here?
So this is a pulp natural Brazil, which is kind of a common process for their region. We use it as both a single origin and a component for one of our espresso blends.
Gotcha.
Just gives it a nice flavor and body.
Okay.
You know, and that's why you blend as opposed to just leaving something on its own.
Right.
You just kind of take the best features of just the different beans.
Love that.
Use one for body, one for flavor, one for kind of like maybe a finishing note. And so, you know, just have some fun with it. That's where you can get creative.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a chocolatey in there too. There's notes. Oh.
So what we're aiming for is a stone fruit, dark chocolate, and clove are what our cupping notes are on this particular coffee. I mean, what's crazy is that it's the same technology since forever. I mean, it's fire under a rotating drum.
Right.
You know, to oversimplify things.
Yeah.
But when you take a very simple process and just, you know, keep it that way, you know, it just works really well. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what is a good business without the branding? Now, Aaron here has played a huge part in, I mean, the logo, the design. Tell us what went into that and how you kind of came up with the branding here.
Yeah, Rob and I go way back,
Yeah.
so we're kind of simpatico on the way that we think. I have a lot of ties to Mexico City and Guadalajara.
Cool.
And their cafe game is really strong and really high. And so we wanted to kind of bring something to Oklahoma that was a blend of all different kinds of elements. We had a local ceramicist to make all our cups and everything here,
Okay.
and as well all the furniture is handmade too.
Very cool.
So we wanted it to be very unique,
Oh,
very,
wow.
very one of a kind type of place.
Yeah.
We just wanted everything to be kind of cohesive between Rattlesnake Cafe, Lioness, and also Chimera. There's a theme there, by the way.
Yeah.
Chimera is
Yeah.
a lion with a snake tail.
There you go.
Didn't know it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear all these wonderful things about coffee, but word on the street is you have some yummy food and drinks here.
Absolutely. Just keeping with the healthier lifestyle, just nice fresh food. You know, we source it local whenever possible. We've got a pork farmer we actually met at the farmer's market just there across the street, and some other local farmers that are helping us with produce. So we just got a really fresh menu. We've kind of built it for speed, so if you are in a hurry, we've got some, like, you know, breakfast burritos, some of the best pastries you can find, all with kind of a Latin America flair. Our baker back there has like the most phenomenal recipes that I've ever seen. It's just, it's hard not to be like snacking all day on that stuff. So
That's a challenge.
It's a special treat when you go in there for sure. And we pair it with the coffee. So we've got, you know, some suggestions as far as what you should have and all that kind of stuff. Just make it fun, curated. You don't really have to think about it too much. Just enjoy yourself. So,
That's awesome.
My
have
mouth
some
is
fun back
watering
there.
already.
Yeah, I think I've heard enough. Can we go
Yeah.
take a look at it? Let's do it. Sounds good.
It's incredible. There's pulled pork, cucumbers, cheese, some kind of magical sauce. It's an incredible concoction of yumminess.
We have it. I want to say it almost looks like a multigrain arugula, some yummy thick cut bacon with a beautiful yellow colored heirloom tomato. Look at that.
You sure that's not a pineapple?
No.
Looks like a pineapple. Pork?
This is the stuff.
No. This is the stuff.
This is the stuff.
This is the stuff.
This is the stuff.
All right, guys, here we are in front of the Broken Arrow Brewing Company. It's actually the only brewery in Broken Arrow. So obviously they've got great beers and a really cool history. Do you know the history behind it?
No, not really.
Well, let me tell you. Started in 1906. It was a power and ice plant.
Whoa,
and
Rob, like, I'm glad that you know all that, but honestly, I'm just here for a happy hour, so bye.
okay, well, you guys check out the history in this next segment. We'll grab a beer.
Hi, I'm Brigadier General Tom Mancino. I'm president of the board for the Military History Center here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The Military History Center is a museum that has been in Broken Arrow since 2014. We probably had 150 artifacts then, and now we're up over to displaying 2,400 artifacts. Most of our artifacts have a story, and the story is tied to a person, and we've tried to make that person an Oklahoma resident, or specifically, if possible, a Broken Arrow resident. The museum is defined by wars and by a time scale. When you come in, the first thing you'll see is Revolutionary War, the Spanish-American War. We have a special section on Native American in the military, and then the museum flows sequentially through the different eras. Right now we're filming in the World War II era, and since Bob Powell, the founder, was a World War II veteran, it has a lot, if most of the artifacts in this one room. But we also have a lot of artifacts in the other areas. We probably have the largest model collection in Oklahoma. One individual himself donated over 264 models. And these models go for everything from German to Russian to American to ships, seas, and planes. It's just a wonderful model selection. The children that visit it just love the model selection. As you go through the museum, there are a few items that you'd really want to look at. One of them in the World War II area, in the case is a Leica camera. And on the top of that camera, you can see the Luftwaffe Eagle, and inside it there's an H. And that's the way that Hitler's cameras, it's a legitimate camera. We checked out the serial numbers, but it was bought in Leningrad after the war, and the Soviets copied every kind of German thing they could and counterfeited it. So it could be a $1,000 camera, or if it was one of Hitler's photographers, it'd be a $100,000 camera. In the Vietnam era, the Tiger Cage, and specifically the whole display on Willard Parrish. Willard Parrish was a mortar man, and when he got into the Ai Drang Valley battle, they handed him an M60 machine gun, and he dug a foxhole. And at the end of that battle, he had run out of M60 ammunition and was standing up with 245s engaging the enemy at about 10 or 15 feet. And after the battle, there were over 100 dead bodies in front of his position. And he was awarded the Silver Star for that. If you say, okay, we're going to build it to a military museum, without ever visiting one, you're going to think about tanks and guns and weapons of war. And we have some of that, but more importantly, we have items that talked about how the soldier lived. In World War I, there's a big display on items that soldiers took to World War I, and people are amazed at how little things were. Or that they got pictures, they didn't carry their camera, they actually brought back pictures from France that were taken over there. I think the best thing about it is once they get inside the museum, they become enthralled with the number of items and the detail. And when they begin to read the stories, they begin to get a connection, and they can see how, hey, these guys from Oklahoma fought like over 350 days of continuous combat in World War II. And then the brigade fought in Korea, and then it's up to current. So the young people that come in that see these kinds of things, they get an appreciation for what it took before we got to where they are, before they started playing Call of Duty, and what a real M1 looks like, or a real Schmeiser, or a M4, and then what role it played in war. Military History Center is located on North Main Street in the Rose District. It's hard to miss because there's 9 40-foot flags up in the courtyard, and those flags fly the flags of all the services. And at the bottom of those flags are plaques that show who donated the flags, and then there's a brick walk yard where we sell bricks for $100 a brick, so you can put your loved ones, or your father, or your uncle, or your brother, or your dad, you can buy a brick and put it out there and honor him.
Trying to find new ways to amp up your marketing strategy? Value News has your answer. Let our professional video production team create a high-quality video to promote your brand. Sell your product. Tell your story. Value News. Advertising made easy.
Hi, I'm Julie Brown. I'm the director here at the Museum Broken Arrow, and what we do here is preserve Broken Arrow's history. Our mission is to be a place where the community comes together to explore Broken Arrow's past, appreciate its present, and imagine its future. It all started with the Muskogee Creek Native Americans that came here on the Trail of Tears during removal times. That was as early as the 1820s. They settled here and named the town Thillicotchka, which was the name of their original town in Georgia, Alabama. Thillicotchka means Broken Arrow. When you arrive, you enter on the first floor. We have our gift shop down there, and then we also have a temporary exhibit hall, the Barbara Brown Kimbrough Exhibit Hall, and that's where we house traveling exhibits. If you come up to our second floor, that's our permanent exhibit, and that's where we are right now. You walk in and immediately you see our amazing original log cabin, and it was the home of the Childers family. It was lived in for basically a century. We shrunk it down a little bit to fit it in here, but it is basically as it was many years ago when they lived there. Our most popular exhibit is most likely our Creek Tribal Town. A lot of people don't know the history of Broken Arrow, let alone the history of the Native Americans that settled here first. So I think that this is a really eye-opening exhibit, and there's just nothing like it anywhere else. So we're really proud to have it here. We also have Rooster Days exhibit, which is the longest running festival in Oklahoma, and it started in 1931. We always do our rooster egg hunt, and the festival's a lot of fun for people to get together and just enjoy games and food and visit with friends. And a lot of people that used to live in Broken Arrow come to town during that weekend to enjoy the festivities still. It originally started because there was an overabundance of roosters. We had a very thriving poultry population at the time, and a lot of the farmers wanted to come up with a way to kind of get rid of their extra roosters. So they decided to have a little festival, bring the roosters to town and sell them off. And that was in 1931. By 1932, it had turned into a town festival. Another portion of our permanent exhibit is our Main Street Broken Arrow. It's really exciting because it kind of gives you a glimpse into the past of what used to be on Main Street, what businesses were around, and goods and services that were offered to people. And it's just kind of exciting to see what used to be and what is now the Rose District and how far we've come. And the kids really love Charlie the horse, so we also have him. I think a lot of people see our building and see it as just a museum, but really we're a community of people that love history, love Broken Arrow. We want to preserve the past so that we can move towards a better and brighter future. And I think the most important thing to me as director is hearing those stories, documenting them, and just the community feel that I have when I come here.
Well, folks, we are here in the Rustic Chophouse, and we're in the beautiful front of house here with the one and only Aaron Martinez,
Hey,
who is
Aaron.
the assistant general manager and the face of the front of house. So, Aaron, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
We are so excited. So tell us a little bit about, the Rustic Chophouse and what we've got here.
So Rustic Chophouse was created as a concept to make fine dining approachable. We want it to be where people could just come in off the street. There's no dress code, there's no tablecloths. Like, we want it to be where you can come back like once a week or every other week and have just a really nice meal with the family. It's not just about the steak. We have other really good food. We have seafood products, lobster tail, king crab, crab cakes. Like, it's not just a steakhouse. Like, we do a lot more, and we also have chef-created pastries every night. Every night we have a different pastry.
Wow, really? What are you guys kind of known for at this point? What are some staples?
So definitely we become known more and more for the tomahawk pork chop, and that is a Duroc pork chop provided to us by Creekstone Farms. And the tomahawk pork chop it's a double bone pork chop. So when you get that, you're getting 16 ounces of meat. We brand the meat as well with a custom RC brand with a nice crispy marmalade on top of it as well. You get smokiness, you get sweetness, and it just all complements the natural sweetness of that pork chop.
I feel like he
My
just
mouth's watering.
serenaded me. I'm like, sing to
I could
me,
just listen to you
Aaron.
talk about food all day.
Here we are in the kitchen with head chef of the Chop House, Rigo Vasquez. How are you, Rigo?
Good, thank you. How are
Thank
you?
you so much for having us back here. So I hear you have some really tasty treats for us. Yes, it does. And you're going to show us a little bit back here. So why don't you tell us what surprises you have for us?
Well, we're gonna work on our pork chop and our crab cakes.
Ooh, so tell me a little bit about that pork chop, because I hear it is a beast.
As you can see,
Look at that, it's huge.
we mark it on the grill.
Woo.
Then we put some apricot marmalade. Then we finish on the oven.
¿Qué más es lo que tienes para nosotros?
Oh, también tenemos los crab cakes. We have crab cakes.
También tenemos those crab cakes. We have crab cakes too, so let's check it out. Look. All right.
So a little bit of oil.
Don't get in the way.
Did you make these?
Yes, we are.
So you pre-prep them. What's in these crab cakes?
Okay, bell peppers, cilantro, crab, obviously,
Yes.
right? And a lot of love.
A lot of love, guys. A lot of love. So it looks like Chef Rigo is busy cooking up some of his yummy crab cakes for us. So we're gonna give him his space a little bit and go check out and see what yummy cocktails they have for us up front. Thank you, Rigo.
Thank you.
Good job.
So one of the main things is a lot of our cocktails do feature some Oklahoma spirits. For example, the Whiskey Mayo Tea, which I'll show you guys today, that features the 1907 Select Distillery, and that one is an Oklahoma-based distillery. Or we got some actually really unique ones like Butchie Rye and also the bourbon as well. We have a lot of scotches to select from. So kind of more heavy on the bourbon and the scotches, but we still got tequila drinks. We got the Paloma, which is really nice as well. And pretty much just anything for anyone.
We are super excited. I think it's time we try some of these.
Absolutely.
Do you mind if we try one? Let's do it.
Absolutely. Why don't you come back here and let's make one?
Oh, I'm excited. Let's do this.
Bada boom. All right.
All right, Aaron, I'm ready. Show me what you got.
All right, wet the rim with lime juice. And then this is going to be a twang grapefruit salt. So it's actually a
Twang.
custom.
You gotta say it with twang.
Yeah, you got the twang grapefruit salt.
Pretty.
And that's actually what gives it the nice pretty rim. All right, so then what you do, we'll get our mixing glass ready.
Am I gonna get to mix?
Yeah, you are.
Ooh, I get to do the.
Flip, can you do like the flippy?
We don't do tricks around here. And then we're gonna grab a little bit of grapefruit juice. Now we're gonna squeeze in 3 fresh limes. And then we're gonna hit it with a splash of grenadine. Now
Gotta
comes the
sing
fun
it.
part.
I'll let you sing it. Okay.
Shake it up, baby,
So
shake it
you
up.
just hold it. Can I do that?
Yeah,
Is
just
it
hold
safe?
hold both of them, and then we're just gonna skewer a lime wedge real quick and just drape it across the top.
Bravo. Can we get a standing ovation? Insert applause.
You're the one who did all the work. All right, now you get to try it.
Your workmanship,
That is good. That is really good. I really like the grapefruit, the acidity. I like the bitterness of it, surprisingly. It's, I'm at a loss for words. This is great.
All right, well, she's taken care of then. Rob, I'll get your drink going, and
good.
food's
Sounds good.
almost up.
Awesome, thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. All right, Rob, here we are. Whiskey mango tea for you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Absolutely.
Give it a shot here.
Enjoy.
Wow. Can I get like a gallon of this to go, please?
Fine.
Thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh, wow. The party has arrived.
All right. Is everything cooked to your liking so far?
Ooh, what do you mean to my liking? This thing's amazing.
Incredible.
Your liking is not.
No, it's so good. And the caramelized apricot on the top, just the whole thing is so moist. I mean, look at her. She can't even, she forgot how to eat. It's so good. It's incredible. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it, man.
I hope you've enjoyed your tour today of Broken Arrow. I know we had a blast, and we've just tapped into what Broken Arrow has to offer.
The Rattlesnake Cafe is a great new addition to the Roast District, and seeing up close how they roast coffee at Lioness was very cool. Both the Broken Arrow and Military Museum was not only educational, but inspirational. I wasn't aware of all the Native American history so tightly tied into this community. Last and definitely not least was the amazing food they're serving up at the Rustic Chophouse, a must-stop for anyone craving a great dining experience.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us on this beautiful day. We're capping it off here. So until next time, cheers.
If you would like for your small business to be featured on In Good Company, visit our website at valuenews.com and click on the Contact Us button. Or give us a call at 918-828-9600 to request a spot on the show.